So today we are going to be focusing on block design, or basics of block design. We're going to be teaching you how to fill in blocks and what colors to use and like what shapes to use and things that go good together. So we're going to be teaching you what goes good together, which no tutorials do because they don't know how to teach because nobody's smart enough to do that. And I feel like I have a good strategy, so even if this doesn't work out in the end, I think I still have a good strategy for teaching. So we start by our deck planning. We said we were going to start discussing what things we will show in the editor, or what things we will teach about the editor, or what we'll be using today, like what blocks we will be using, what glow blocks, and just we'll be showing off what we're going to be using.
Alright, so we're going to be showing what we're using here. Well, obviously, all the tools from here we'll be using, so let me just lay these out real quick. Alright, well, you'll just need these few blocks for this entire design here. We're going to quickly remake it, and then I'm going to show you the colors that we're going to be needing here. Alright, so basically it's just a bunch of numbers and letters combined to get you a certain color. As you can see here, the blue hex code that I'm going to be using for this one is 2907FF. Alright, and then the hex code for the gray, which we're going to be using blending here, make sure it's ahead of any non-blending colors. We have 515253, and then finally, for this blue, we have 00F3FF. Alright, that's the colors we're going to be using here. The rest can stay blank for now. Yeah, quickly, for the block design, we're going to be using 3, which is blue. And we're just going to copy this a couple times. Alright, then what we're going to do is just copy it again. By the way, we're going to be using these. We're going to be using these blocks right here for the outline, which also are physical. That's going to be acting as the gameplay. In fact, we should probably just make the outline right now. So, as you can see, what you're going to want to do is just kind of find whatever fits the direction they're going in. Bring this down. Although, you might see here that if you want to rotate is this, but yeah, you might see here that we have these little edges here. What we're going to do is fill them in using this. Alright. And that'll make it look perfect. Alright, we're going to do that again. Make these. Now we're going to do glow, and then lastly we're going to do the stars. So, what we're going to do here is we're going to showcase how to use the colors here. We have the blending color here, the gray that makes a really nice purple. Alright, what we're going to do is make the Z layer ahead of the blue, behind the outline. Alright, so let's see, B1 looks good. Alright, and then what we're going to do is just stretch it a little bit by pressing this scale button and then pulling it by Y. Then we're going to use these half block movements to get into position. Alright, and right there, if you press deselect, you'll see that we have a really good purple here. Alright, and so it's in player view, we are going to move this into a specific spot, not all the way down here. And as you can see, now this looks good, and we're just going to do the same thing for the other side, right here. Then we will also fill in the middle, which we will use a little bit of depth in the middle for that. As right now it does not look that colored, since it's just gray, not mixing with the blue at all. Alright, we're just going to copy these, so it goes down as well, so it doesn't randomly cut off. Let's do a little bit of depth, and then we'll place the stars. Alright, so there's multiple ways you can make the color darker here. Alright, so you can place this block here, and then make it blue. That looks a little weird, right? Well, what we're going to do to make it not look as weird here is we're going to use the HSV, alright? Which what we can do with this is we can change the brightness, saturation, and hue. Right now, we're going to do brightness. Let's put it at, let's say, 80. How does that look? That looks better, doesn't it? And then, what we're going to do is just copy these.
Okay, I muted myself so that I didn't interrupt or anything, but David says darker, so thinks the glow should be darker.
We can do darker, sure. By the way, if you grab something you don't want while you're tapping with swipe, you can just press the undo button and it will not select it again. Just a little editor trick that you can use. Alright, so let's try 60 then. That's better. As you can see, it uses more depth. Alright, we'll place the stars and then we'll use a little bit of glow around the edges here to make it so it doesn't look as flat. So, the star here, it looks like it doesn't really change color because it's white right now and it's the normal one, but you can still just set it to this light blue. Hold on, I might have grabbed the wrong tool there then. Hold on. Yes, this one. Okay, it's the straight star, not this one. Okay. Now let's set this one to blue. And as you can see, that looks good. Like that right there looks pretty good. Now, we could just continue to copy these and just have it look like this. And that looks decent. But the thing is, that's kind of repetitive design. What we're going to do is shrink them. Yeah, what we're going to do, instead of just copy and pasting the stars like that, just nothing changing about them, that'd be too repetitive there, so instead, we're going to shrink each star. So this one's going down to 90. By the way, we can shrink it down using this scale button. Alright? And then what we're gonna do is just scale it down again to 80. Or it could just be around there, that is fine too. It's probably not gonna be noticeable, so it doesn't really matter too much. It doesn't have to be perfect, although you can try for perfect if you'd like. Okay, so let's do around there. And then, since we have a branching path here, we're going to copy it over here as well. Alright, shrink it again. Go to around 60, that's good enough. And then we're also going to copy it over here. And basically what we're going to do is just go down until we don't have more shrinking space. In which then we're just going to start pasting the exact same star all the way down. Now, we can place stars into here. I'd suggest using the same technique of darker color, but you don't have to. And it's completely optional to have stars there in general. As you can see, this version probably looks better here, since it's more finished. Alright, so now we've rebuilt it and we can start moving on.
Let's see, spike design. So you're doing spike design?
I think we should do spike design, yeah.
Okay. I don't know much about spike design, so this is also going to be a tutorial for me, so.
Yeah. Alright, and also remember that it may seem like a tutorial right now, not really interacting too much with the audience here. I'll start teaching you your ideas later on. Not right now, though. Right now, we're just getting some basic techniques down. Alright, so I feel like these spikes are a good base for what we have going here. Alright, let's just set these to a blue. The same blue as before. Well, we're going to be using the same glow technique, except for we are going to be using this glow instead, since it fits the spike. Alright, so we're going to be using this right here. Make sure it goes ahead. Okay, there. Okay, as you can see, that's kind of just like half the spike there. And we are going to flip it here. And now we have a tip that looks good. All right. And then we can also do the same thing with this other one, except for we will use this tool instead. Since it fits more with the shape. Hold on. Well, anyway. Yeah. Actually, we'll just work on this spike later, after we're done with this spike here. Alright, we don't need anything too complex. Actually, just to make this, both to make the spike look better and add on to just the platform in general, why don't we do this? Okay, we only want that at the bottom though. So we are going to need to remove the side part.
They're trying to remind you to add an outline to the spikes.
Alright, yeah. Hold on. We will use these, and since they're physical, we're going to use a certain editor tool that is in Edit Group that I will be teaching you in a moment. Okay? This is kind of acting as a way to teach you that. Alright, so now we have our spike shape here. We're going to shrink this. There. And there. Now we have an outline. Alright. You know what? I think that glow actually looks kind of good there. So we're not even going to remove that bit. Instead, we're just going to let it happen. Up here, though, we are going to be using a different type of glow, probably. Right now, we're not going to worry about that. We're going to worry about the spikes themselves. We should also do an outline here. There we are. And shrink it down.
They're saying that your outlines are different thickness. It looks perfectly fine to me. Somebody can't find the spike glow.
Hold on, we don't even need, like, bottom outlines for the spike here, as the platform can act as that here. Okay, that seems good. Alright. I think that is some good simple spike design. Alright? As we can see right there. So, yeah, right now we have some simple design that we don't really need to be too complex in, although maybe we should reuse the stars here, as reusing is actually really good for creating.
Really?
Right?
I thought that, it's like...
It can become repetitive, but you can reuse some small details.
What if you use, like, circles or something instead of stars for the spikes?
You could try that.
That might look better.
Okay, let's find just a basic circle. There it is. Okay. Alright. So we can just place this in here. Let's see, what color should we use? Should we just use the same blue that we were about to use for the star? Let's see how it looks with a blending color. That really only works with glow. That doesn't look too good. I think the blue works pretty well. Yeah, let's just lower it here a little bit so we can put it on that spike too. Alright, now the spikes have the same type of design as the block design, which you should keep it, the spike design and the block design similar. Anyway, hold on. Accidentally played it. Oh great, the editor glitch. Yeah, if you get that glitch where you just can't scroll at all, just save and exit and then you can re-enter it. I'm gonna actually give this question to you guys, have a little bit of interaction here. Do you want stars, do you want, some stars in this in-between section? Obviously, it's going to be a slightly different color because we're working with depth here.
I think that if we started with basic glow, like the little mini glow, because it's easy, it's just two little pieces of glow that you use, you can outline that in glow,
Okay,
and
so
then
we
you can add in a little thing. But I think if you use more stars, it's going to look very repetitive because you already have a lot of stars there. So I feel like it's just going to become too much. No,
Well,
I'm talking about in the middle, like the very middle.
Okay, we can do that.
And you have blending turned on, so you're not gonna be able to see through that.
Hold
Oh,
on.
never mind. I don't know.
That works.
You said maybe a different shape. And David also says he doesn't know about a different shape. That looks really good. That looks
Yeah.
insanely good. So, David says he doesn't know about a different shape, but something different, and I agree. I feel like we should either just leave it like this, or we should do something different.
We could try to do something different here. Let's see. We could try doing...
What kind of little, like, pieces are there? Cool. Oh, actually, a big triangle might work, actually. I think that might work. Make it just like a dark blue. Make it fit with the background of that block. Yes.
Okay, let's make an outline. Let's make the outline not too noticeable. Like, have it be a grayish color instead of a white. Oh wait, I forgot something with these spikes. Since I mentioned it before, but these objects are physical that we're using right here. So we are just going to real quick select these and press a certain option so it will not affect you during gameplay.
Well, if they're spikes, aren't they supposed to be like that?
Well, these will prevent you from dying from it. So, okay. Well, like these are blocks, these outlines. So
True.
you can go along them. Okay. So enter edit group. Press extra, and you see this no touch button? Click that. Alright, now you will just phase through them, and it will go into the spike. Anyway, this does not matter, as you cannot touch this.
Yes. By the way, we've almost officially been doing this for an hour, and it's already a lot better than before. Surely it was longer, but it still was better than yesterday, and I think that's a bonus.
Yeah, I think we're gonna grow this a bit, maybe like 30, since the outline is a bit too small for this. Yeah, that looks good. Now, let's make the outline here a little bit darker. Okay? Using the same technique we used earlier.
You got very quiet there.
Okay. Well, yeah, we're just going to be making it less bright, less noticeable, because we don't need it to be too, noticeable here. Like, as you can see, that looks good. And then we can just copy that along. Alright? Down?
That looks
okay.
really good. Maybe okay. Does it look like too much triangles? Should we make it so that there's every other block is a triangle?
Hold on. Here's an idea. We have a 3-way cycle. Triangle, hexagon, circle. Triangle, hexagon, circle. Triangle, and then it just keeps looping. We could try that.
Look good. Also, another thing I'd like to do is just it would take like an extra minute or so. That would be it. Is just add a piece of glow on the bottom, like one of those square glows on the bottom.
Like
that adds a little bit of extra detail to it.
This?
Yes.
Oh,
and you just scale it up and make it so it fits like toward down by the bottom and looks good.
Hold on. Let's make it 3 times size. That way it fits all the blocks. And let's make that blending on. We can just make it the top layer over all the other stuff. And yep.
Yeah, that does look good. See? That's why I always do that.
Although if the player would be able to see all the way down there, yeah, the player would not be able to see that. But if it were able to, we should probably just have a giant, black glow so you can't see into the void, really.
Are you going to be sharing this level?
So
that people can check it out?
Maybe. I'll leave it up to the community if they want to play it.
Well, I mean, I think we should just go and add the glow in the middle is supposed to be there. I think it makes it look good.
Yeah.
Somebody's complaining about it. I think it looks really good.
Let's just test out the cycle here. Alright? let's just do the 3 shapes, that's all. It shouldn't take too long. The outlines are going to be what takes the most time out of this. But we should be able to do it. Alright. Let's do these both, like, nope, wrong color.
Should we just go and should we just leave it empty like this? Because it does look good empty.
Here's an idea. We could teach opacity and like have it at a lower opacity. These decorations.
Yes.
We could do that.
Opacity is always a good thing.
Yeah. Playing around with opacity generally does make your level look better. Well then. Hold on, let's see. Which one is this?
David says that there are outlines for all those kind of objects in the same tab.
Wait, these. Hold on, yeah. Yeah, just use... These are thicker than this, but we can try it. Hold on. The thing here, though, is that it's kind of getting crowded here. Like, there's so many objects that if you just tried to grab something from, like, here or something, wherever, you are just going to be grabbing a bunch of objects, so I think it's time to introduce the editor layers.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so let's select these. You can do that with swipe, with edit on, not build. Building will just place a bunch of whatever object you have selected. Okay, enter edit group, and then editor L. We have this here. Currently, they're on 0. All of this stuff is on 0.
Oh,
Yeah,
whoa. Okay. Ed created something really cool. Go post it somewhere in, like, feedback or something, and we'll see it after stream.
Yeah, anyway, yeah, just press the right arrow here. Now it's on 1. Yeah. As you can see here, we cannot select it because we're on 0. But if we tap this, we can't select everything else, but we can select these. Now, we can look at them both together with all, alright? Although, as you can see here, it goes to a lower opacity. That is actually a really good opacity right there. So we're going to try to replicate that for the main level. So what we're going to do is use groups now. We are on 0. We can use the left or right here, but I suggest using next free, which, let's say if you have 1 on any object, it doesn't matter, then 1 is going to be taken, alright?
David says you can use alpha trigger.
Alright, I'm just teaching about groups real quick, like a short, brief overview. Alright, as you can see, every time you add 1, it will not select it. So then, what we're just going to do is we're going to use 1. Now, I'd say we should probably go back to 0, which will be our trigger group as well. So then, let's place it behind the start, okay? That means, right as you spawn in, it will just become this, alright? So this is actually our first trigger so far, okay? We're going to select 1 here, and then we're going to set the fade time to 0. Now we are going to set the opacity to around 50, which means there's around 50%. Let's see. Yeah, that looks really good. Since it's at 50% opacity, then now it is only half visible. If we set it to 40, we'll have 40%, and then 30, and then 20, and you get how it works. Alright, we're just going to real quick copy and paste these. Since this goes below, we can just select these and delete it, so we're not wasting object. It seems like we've made a lot of progress so far. It looks pretty good. What we will do is have these, these right here. We're gonna have these moving down infinitely, and it's just gonna cycle. Here's an idea before we experiment with some looping movements here. We could try to copy these and then shrink them down into themselves, and then just have it slightly darker, because that could be somewhat interesting. So, hold on. Let's try this. Let's actually move these to the next editor layer, so we don't have too many overlapping here. Alright, 2. Let's make these darker, alright? So this, since it's already a darker color here, what we're gonna do is move it down by, let's say, 30 again. And then for this one, that's going to be moved down to a 70. And let's look at how that looks. Oh yeah, that looks good. As you can see, just experimenting a little bit can get a very good result here. It doesn't look too complex, and all of this is just optional. Alright, so what we're gonna do is just copy these, so triangles are done. And then we are going to next do these with hexagons. And move it to the next layer. And let's see, what size is this? We're going to try to do the same size for all of them. So we're just going to try to get the same size for all of these. By the way, you cannot just select all of them and shrink them, then they're not going to be aligned. Like, you have to do these individually. Alright, so that said 40. So we're going to shrink this one down to 40 as well. And now let's do the colors. So this one's going down to 70. And this one is going down to 40. And just, let's look at that. Yep, looks good. And again, 40. There. 70 and 40. Okay, let's look. Yeah, that looks better. Alright, so now let's introduce move triggers and also loops, I guess. Although loops will be much easier to teach as there's already a button in the editor to create loops. Well, as we can see here, we will just real quick be doing this. And hold on. That is interrupting there. Hold on, let's see. Okay, that's not visible then. And let's make this not visible. Yes, but if we do move this. Okay, so they're not the same one for each of them. Let's just make sure real quick. Make some room for this test. And okay, so that's invisible then. So we're going to need to play with layers a little bit for that. Well then, we can do that. Alright, so this one is just going to be back here. And let's just move these back. And now they're back in position. And it's time for the movement. So all of these already are assigned to a group, as you can see. Hold on. Yeah. Since they're all assigned to group 1 and nothing else is assigned to group 1, that means we can just go to movement here. Now, we are going to test this through gameplay. We'll just place a few simple blocks here. Now let's make some loops. So let's just start it here, not directly at the start or anything. Okay, so if we just type -10, every 10 is one block, alright? So that means since we have a -10 here, that means we're going down one block. And yeah, 0.5, that works. Okay? Actually, let's move it just to demonstrate real quick. As you can see, that moves. And we'll keep it over here, actually. Let's change the move time down to 0 and move this back up 10, which will make it just so it doesn't... Well, it's actually going to need to move 3 if so. Okay, I see how this could work. We're going to need to make this loop correctly. Let's grab both this and the circle. Yeah, this is some advanced stuff though, so we are going to need separate groups for each of these. Let's actually just move these to their own editor layer here, because we're going to have some stacked on top of each other. These, okay, yeah. And let's see, yeah, you can see those, so we're going to copy the groups of these. So yeah, B2 for both. So B2 here as well. And we're going to assign groups to this. And also if you do click the number on those, they will just disappear. So now let's see, what cycle will this be on? So this would be group 3, which was the other one is group 2. First the circle, okay, first this, first the hexagon, then it should be the circle, then the triangle. Okay, so let's reorder the group here. Alright, since the triangle is going to be last. Instead, it is going to be on group 3. And since this circle is going to be second, then we're just going to place this on group 2. Oh yeah, we should also real quick, just with the alpha trigger, do the same thing for 2 and 3. So now all the objects here are also at an opacity. Looks like they are going to move negative 30, I believe, in which that'll be a bit fast, so we will just...
I've been chatting with the people in chat, and I have no idea what you're working on right now.
Well, I'm trying to explain it. It's just the triggers are getting a bit advanced here, so I have a lot to explain.
Ah, you're working on move triggers. Okay, what are the move triggers going to do exactly?
What they're going to do is, you know these little shapes here? They're going to be moving down here. It's just like a cycle. Yeah, so 30 here. Alright. And then we're going to do 2 as well. Hold on. Yeah, we need the separate groups here. As you can see, hold on. Right, we need to use this. So what layer is this on? That is B4. So this one will be B4 as well. And in fact, these can just all be B4 here. So now all of them can fit. And let's look at that. Hold on. They need a bit of a delay then. I think I have it done. I've created the triggers. I will now explain it. Okay. So, we have one here, which is essentially all of them, except for 2. Right here, which these are the 2. What this does is just moves them down by 30. Since we have 3 shapes here, which is equivalent to 3 blocks. Alright? So, we're going to do that in 0.5 each block, which since we're moving down 30 blocks, then that means our total move time is 1.05 seconds. So, it's just a little bit of math here for 1. Alright? Since this is all of them. So, with the circles, which are next in line here, with our shapes, that is assigned to 2, which will be moving negative 20 since they're all squished together. We're not going to be doing the same exact thing here, otherwise we're just going to have 3 blocks squished. So instead, we will move it negative 20 in the same amount of time, which will be 1 second now, which is also equivalent to half a second per 1 block. And then 1 more here for the third, which is, I believe, the hexagon? Yes. Wait, no, it's this. No, I am stupid. Yes, it's the triangle. Yeah, the triangle is last, which is going to be getting negative 10, which is just going to be half a second total, and then all of these are just pretty much the same thing, except for they're moving up, how much they need to move up to get into this exact spot right here. And they all do that in 0 seconds, so it will just seem completely seamless. Hold on. Now that I've explained how the triggers are doing this, now it's time to show what the create loop button does. Alright? So we're just gonna select all of these triggers right here, alright? And what we're gonna do is press pause, and you see this create loop button right here. Okay, we're just gonna press that. What it does is creates a bunch of spawn triggers that spawn themselves, basically. And then we just have this one at the start. I believe it's this one. Yeah. This one will start the loop. Okay? So as you can see, this one is tied to 4. And then this one triggers 4. Alright? Like this one spawns 5. And then this one is triggered by 5. This one spawns 6. This one's triggered by 6. And then this one spawns 7. This is 7. And this spawns 4, which is 5. Well, which spawns 5. And then it just keeps looping over and over and over again. Alright, what we're going to do is just put this at the start so it immediately does that. Okay? We should make it so there is no delay here. Okay? So this is the last step, and having a delay here will just make it freeze for a little bit, since this is an instant trigger. This one just instantly goes. So we just have a seamless loop there going. Okay? And that is a somewhat advanced trigger. Now, real quick, allow me to just... Hold on, let's save first. Okay? You should make a habit of just saving sometimes. Alright? You don't want to lose the progress. Alright, so as you can see here, we've got a good view of the loop. Looks good, right? So that's what you can do with not that much.
You already know more about triggers than me, because I was not watching.
Well, hopefully the others were watching. Yeah, you can set this for however long, instead of the move time being like, oh, this is how long it takes to reach that spot. When it's locked to player, or locked to camera, then it will just be however long it stays there. In which we can just set this to, I don't know, like that. And we have an infinite view of the loop there, which can be useful. There seems to be like a flaw or something, I don't know. You know, that was not intentional for it to just kind of swap whenever it goes up. Hexagon and a circle swaps because I apparently did the wrong cycle. But it actually looks kind of cool. Anyway, yeah, I think we've gotten a lot of stuff done here. Not too much more to do.
I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys learned something. And a lot of people didn't know how to use Glow or even know anything about any of that. So I hope that you guys like that and learn stuff from it. So, and also, as usual, go leave your feedback and your ways we should improve or ways we can improve. Go leave that in the Help Us Improve channel, and we will use those to help us improve for next stream. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm really proud of how that went. So we will see you guys next week.